are coming to you from Harmon, and there you are out on YouTube and on Facebook. Hafa day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, and here is what's coming up on the HotSpot today.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the fresh garden bar.
On Monday's episode, a death investigation in Jigo has been launched after a man was found with multiple puncture wounds. A big spending bill was advanced in the Senate earlier today. We'll also give you the weather outlook for the week and a little bit more, and everything you know about planting an effective garden. But first, right off the bat, the Guam Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division is conducting a death investigation. According to a release at approximately 1:30 in the morning, patrol officers from Dedido Precinct responded to a call of an unconscious man in the parking lot of the Dedido Center by the former Crown Bakery. Officers found an unresponsive man with multiple puncture wounds to his body. The man was reported by bystanders to have been involved in an earlier altercation at the same place. Medics from GFD transported the man to GRMC. He was pronounced dead by attending physicians. The victim has not yet officially been identified, pending next of kin. Check out Prime Time for the very latest on this story. More local news in just a moment, but first, national headlines as the Vice President has cast her deciding vote to advance a massive spending bill in the Senate this afternoon. Democrats hope to have the Inflation Reduction Act ready for the president to sign by the end of the week.
Congressional Democrats are a step closer to handing the White House a much-needed political victory. Today, the Senate approved a massive spending bill that addresses some of President Biden's domestic priorities, including health care costs and climate change.
This bill will kickstart the era of affordable clean energy in America. It's a game changer. It's a turning point, and it's been a long time in coming.
With Republicans unanimously opposed to the Inflation Reduction Act, it was left to Vice President Kamala Harris to cast a tie-breaking vote.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
The GOP has framed the bill as a package of tax hikes and unnecessary spending that could hurt the economy.
We shouldn't be raising taxes ever, but especially in a recession. And why would we be raising the taxes on gas right now when it's $2 above what it was when Joe Biden took office?
Democrats say the bill will ease inflation and reduce the federal deficit as well. It provides the IRS with $80 billion in new funding to go after high-income tax evaders. It also imposes a 15% minimum tax on large corporations.
Very few pieces of legislation will ever make the kind of impact that this climate bill will have.
The bill still must be approved by the House, which could come as early as Friday, when its members return from a summer recess. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, New York.
103 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed by the Joint Information Center last Friday evening out of more than 1,500 specimens collected on the 4th. 7 of those were from the DOD. Now, the thing that is most notable is Guam's hospitalization count has jumped to 28, as that number of people have been admitted to the virus. The previous hospitalization the previous day was 24. 4 of those are in the ICU, with 3 people on ventilators. 14 people are at GMH, 11 are at GRMC, and 3 are in Agani Heights at the Naval Hospital. 17 of the hospitalized are vaccinated. The governor also, as you know, signed an executive order last week relative to extending the public health emergency. The extension took effect Friday and expires on September 4th. Speaking of Lulian Guerrero, her administration has secured $1.2 million from the Office of Local Defense Community Corporation, formerly known as the Office of Economic Adjustment in the Department of Defense. The grant funds the 2-phase in-water infrastructure feasibility study of all cargo handling wharfs and fuel piers, and supports military readiness support feasibility study. It will also support the administration's ongoing efforts to sustain and enhance operational effectiveness, resiliency, and sustainability of the Port Authority of Guam, which is vital to the island's strategic value. Now to the war in Ukraine. Worries of a new disaster following reports of shelling near Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Here's more from the city of Odessa.
Smoke rises above the pylons at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, each side blaming the other for explosions that downed high-voltage power lines, prompting engineers to shut down a reactor. The nuclear watchdog IAEA warning of a very real risk of a nuclear disaster at Europe's largest nuclear power facility. seized by Russia in March, but kept running by Ukrainian staff since. The Ukrainian president accused Russia of using the plant as a weapon. Any shelling of this facility is an open, brazen crime and an act of terror, he said. The clashes at the plant came as Russian forces stepped up their offensive on frontline cities like Mykolaiv, which has come under the worst shelling since the first days of the war. This is all that's left of the regional government headquarters. This attack happened in the first few weeks of the war, but the bombardment has continued as this city remains a major strategic target for the Russian military. Even the hospital has provided no sanctuary against the onslaught in a series of nightly bombings and indiscriminate shelling of civilian areas. Ukrainian forces have been able to strike back with American-supplied HIMARS systems able to take out targets far behind Russian front lines. But as the Russian Ministry of Defense released videos showing soldiers in combat, British intelligence chiefs warned that the Russian military is almost certainly massing in southeastern Ukraine, concentrating forces and firepower for an all-out assault. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Odessa, Ukraine.
There is a new appointee to the Interior Department's top post for the territories. FSM Ambassador Carmen Cantor was appointed by the Interior Secretary as the new Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs. Cantor says growing up in Puerto Rico and having lived in the FSM, she's got a deep appreciation of unique challenges faced by island and coastal communities. She says she's thrilled to join the Interior Agency to tackle challenges through collaborative efforts across the feds, the territories, the freely associated states, and international partners. Among other things, the agency has responsibility for the U.S. territories, so that includes us, and administers and oversees federal assistance under the Compacts of Free Association. All right, let's get to your weekly question now. Of course, we do this each and every week where we tap your knowledge and see what you have to say on the various island issues facing us. Now, you can of course, always sound off in comments on Facebook and on Instagram, otherwise known as TikTok Junior these days. So here are your weekly question. What senatorial candidates do you support this election? So obviously an open-ended question, so we want to know what you say once again, Facebook and Instagram. All right, it's time for another round of News Bites, and so much happens on Guam. We like to feature your thoughts, so here is what's happening on the island. The Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration's on-site consultation program received high marks from the feds after a biannual review of the local consultation's office operations and practices. GTA hosted a week-long social media contest in July where people were encouraged to nominate a local educator, giving them a chance to win gift certificates so they could purchase resources for the new school year. Sabrina Ishmael, a third-grade teacher at Inarahan Elementary School, and Jared Figueroa, a fifth-grade teacher over at Upi Elementary up in Jigo, each won $200 gift certificates. Congratulations to them. And a Yoji archaeological study has determined the cowrie shell artifacts found throughout the Marianas were lures used for hunting octopi, and that the devices, which have been found on islands across the Pacific, are the oldest known artifacts in the world. Remember, it is octopi, not octopuses. And on August the 3rd, the James L. Rosita S. Adkins Foundation donated $23 to fund scholarships at the GCA Trades Academy. Well done by our friends there. All right, please do stick around. We have got more HotSpot right after this.
KUAM Care Force, along with partners Guam Animals in Need and the Booneyfly Project, are asking you to join NBC Universal in their nationwide effort to clear the shelters this August. We're encouraging our community to get involved, donate to these organizations, and adopt and foster pets to help our growing stray animal population on Guam. For the 8th consecutive year, NBC is raising awareness and funds in their local communities to support animal welfare. Since its inception in 2015, Clear the Shelters has helped more than 700,000 pets find new homes. Join us all August long for live reports on KUAM News HotSpot and Primetime, special news series, My Pet's Story, a weekly series on KUAM Digital showcasing heartwarming stories of pets who found loving homes. Weekly posts on KUAM social media platforms featuring pets in need of homes. Let's do our part to clear the shelters and support animals in need.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
Lunches, snacks, we got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk, gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day.
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising cost of everything.
Check guamchildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
guamchildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
As the Decision 2022 race shapes up, keep it with KUAM News for all the news you need to know as you head to the polls. From weekly candidate profile analysis on the Hub on KUAM News Hotspot to our online candidate directory on KUAM.com, special features on KUAM Digital and KUAM News Primetime, plus live coverage of forums and debates. We're your one-stop source on every platform. Stay informed with KUAM News, your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Welcome back to the Hotspot, everybody. And Landon Idlet joins us as he does every week. And apparently every week he's going to be on the road for the foreseeable future because Landon Hoffaday from back home, because you are joining us from Sioux City, Iowa.
That's correct. Hoffaday, Jason, and Hoffaday, Guam. I am live in Sioux City, Iowa. And just so you know where we're located, Sioux City kind of encompasses parts of southwestern Iowa, parts of South Dakota and Nebraska.
Okay, I gotta ask you, do you know how close you are? What is your distance from Dyersville? Because that's where the Field of Dreams is from the movie.
Dyersville. I'm not sure where Dyersville is located here.
Oh,
I know
man, you got to go there. It's only 20 bucks to get in.
Villages.
Yeah, just go. Just
Google that.
Yeah, just it's 20 bucks to get in. You can go see the Field of Dreams that Kevin Costner was at. I mean, that's
oh, that would be great.
Personal like bucket list for me and everything. But as you probably know, because you're staying on top of everything with all your gear and everything, weather's actually been pretty consistent, pretty stable. The occasional rain cloud every now and then, but you were telling us about that like way in advance.
Yeah, that's definitely the case out there. We are watching several showers and thunderstorms with a weak surface trough pushing through Guam and the Marianas. That is departing right now, but if you notice outside, the winds are very light. I'm gonna turn my camera around right quick, so you'll see a brief chicken right there.
Nice.
This is what we're looking at across Guam and the Sinai. This is that weak surface trough pushing through toward the west. That'll be clearing out shortly, so we'll probably get some sunlight over Guam and the Sinai, but the winds are light. So if there's enough instability and moisture in the atmosphere, we could see some spotty afternoon convection, and that would be moderate to heavy showers in very isolated locations. So not everybody will see it, but some areas could see some showers and maybe a brief rumble of thunder. But we're going to open up the picture just a little bit. And so we're looking at the full regional visible satellite imagery showing Guam and the Sinai right there in the middle. But to our northeast, that's a large upper level low or a tut cell barreling westward. That is expected to keep just north of us. But of course, when these things are present or in our neighborhood, we could see some spotty thunderstorms during its passage if the dynamics are just favorably positioned over the region. So we'll be watching out for that, but otherwise, much drier air to the south of that upper level low and to our east. So we'll be watching that. A trade wind disturbance will be pushing through Wednesday night into the weekend. So we can see an uptick in showers for the last half of the week, but seas and surf will be favorable. We could see seas of 3 to 4 feet, combined seas building to right about 3 to 5 feet for the last half of the week. And surf will not be that bad with a moderate risk of rip currents through the end of the week.
Okay, I gotta ask you, Len, does, as I said, like we've had some nice rain. I mean, it hasn't been, too overbearing. It hasn't been like lengthy where it rains for like 45 straight minutes. So, I mean, it's tolerable. I mean, I know the grass is really, really happy. I've got a bunch of neighbors who are water blasting their roofs. And I mean, that's great because it naturally washes away, like all the funk and all the algae and all the mildew and what have you. And it also kind of cools down the guys up there, who are wearing like 9 pounds of clothing. But
lowers your power bill significantly.
Yeah, but it seems time of day is coming in into the equation. Like usually it's really at sunrise or closer as we get to the end of the day. Does that have any bearing?
Yeah, we see a little bit of diurnal effect of showers, and we see a diurnal maxima of showers and thunderstorms, usually in the early morning hours, right around daybreak, and then also in the evening hours. And that's just kind of a diurnal fluctuation we see from time to time. And that can be exacerbated by a passing surface trough or a disturbance. But we know our disturbances are pretty potent if they can sustain showers and thunderstorms beyond that diurnal fluctuation, and it can continue for a day or half a day. So we do watch out for that. And sometimes that's part of the tricky part of our forecast. If we see a line of showers and thunderstorms pushing toward Guam around 3 a.m. to our east, will it hold together? And sometimes if that energy is there, it can become more significant as it approaches and then clear out and stabilize the atmosphere by midday.
Yeah.
So we see that, and it's always sometimes a guessing game.
Well, like I say, it's kind of like a first world problem, but I've just had to adjust my outside workout regimen from, maybe around 6 a.m. to about maybe 6:30, 6:45 just to avoid the showers. Because I mean, I don't like doing, running or doing cardio like outside when the roads are all wet. That's just me.
Yeah, it's also dangerous too because the roads are slick. So that's probably a good call on your behalf to not run or bike when the roads are wet.
Okay, well, I do got to ask you, since you are in the Hawkeye State, are you actually closer to the University of Iowa or to Iowa State? Are you more Hawkeye or Cyclone?
We are. Well, first off, let me introduce my sister. This is my sister, Hillary, by the way. Wave.
Hi, Hillary, again. I remember.
The question is, are we closer to
Christmases ago.
University of Iowa or Iowa State?
Iowa State, I believe.
Iowa State, she believes, but not 100% sure. They just moved here from South Dakota. They were in Seattle originally a couple years ago. They moved to South Dakota and just moved to Iowa not too long ago. So this is actually my first time visiting Hillary and her husband Ben here in the Midwest.
Okay, can you ask your sister, because I know she hasn't got the AirPods on like you do, but she went from Seattle to South Dakota and now to Iowa. Do you like being cold, Hillary?
Do you like being cold, Hillary?
I do not at all.
She does not like the cold weather.
You're somewhat of a glutton for punishment now, because those three places are very, very cold.
Yeah, she prefers the tropics. She lived in Florida back when she was with our parents down there in Jacksonville, Florida. And of course, we're all from North Carolina originally. So she much prefers the more temperate weather, but the violent weather that we do not get on Guam, such as the hailstorms, the tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, all the good stuff. So I really envy Hillary because she'll probably see some action next spring.
Okay, well, speaking of action, Len, I got to ask you. It seemed like another member of the animal kingdom is video bombing us right now. Who is that?
Yeah, that's one of her dogs. I think it's Flynn. So I'm going to give the camera over to Hillary so she just get a size perspective. I'm going to walk outside the door and hopefully I don't get mobbed by these animals. Come here, Flynn. Come here. This is one of her 2 Irish wolfhounds, and they are huge.
Oh, so wolfhound.
The youngest one, 6 months old and 120 pounds. I'm going to have to wash my shirt before I go to my training next week.
That's a baby?
This thing is enormous. This is a baby, 6 months old, and that's
Good
the
grief.
older one. I think this one is 6 years old, and this is Stella.
Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have
house-sized.
to wash off your iPhone too, because there's slobber all over that as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're gonna have some smells in
Wow.
this training next week, but we'll see. Yeah, this is Flynn, all 120 pounds.
I'm not going to ask you to carry Flynn and everything. Like, I don't want you to get a hernia or anything like that. Wow,
Oh my God.
that is a majestic animal, man.
And this dog likes to cuddle. Believe it or not, he likes to cuddle.
I'm sure he likes to eat too.
I think they eat a lot of food. I forget, they go through a 50-pound bag like every week. Is that so, Hillary? Roughly a 50-pound bag of dog food every week. And I hear we have a shortage on Guam at the moment of dog food. So the commodities are very much in demand. And I think we have another dog back here too. This is Moira, I believe, the smallest of them all.
Oh, Moira, another wonderful Irish name.
But she's the boss. She controls all the dogs.
As most women are. Yeah, oh, hello, Moira. Are you named?
Yeah,
are you named after the actress Moira Kelly from The Cutting Edge, or Moira McTaggart from the X-Men?
She might be the X-Men.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
what I'm going with.
Knowing you and your family, you guys are cool like that. So, wow, man.
Yeah. And so let me show you the swimming pool. This is the best part. I came here to go swimming. I was looking forward to this, and it's a beautiful Hulk green.
Yikes!
So it's not all that bad. They say it's safe to swim. I was vacuuming it early until the thunder started, but me being the responsible weatherman, I had to quit vacuuming and then take shelter. So remember, when thunder roars, get indoors. And
There
so
you go.
I was heeding that advice.
A perfect illustration of that.
Yes. But yeah, here's Flynn. We're going to let the dogs in very shortly. They are, believe it or not, house pets. It's the first time I've seen a horse live in a house. It's about as close to a horse. And they also have chickens over here. They have chickens over there. I think donkeys in the backyard somewhere, a horse.
Wow.
So they have all kinds of animals around here, including 3 cats.
Well, you
So
know,
this
if
is
your sister, aka Dr. Doolittle, ever wants to come out and visit Guam and everything, we'd love to have her. You know that. And it seems, Landon, like you and your family are going to have to make a significant investment into dry dog food and a bunch of chlorine, it looks like, for the pool. So you look like you got work to do, man. So I gotta let you run.
A good shower too.
There you go. Hey, well,
But Hillary will be back.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us while you're on the road, man. We appreciate it. And looks like good weather out here. And we wish you and your family the very best, and good weather to you as well.
Thank you very much, Jason, and we will see you all soon.
All right, we'll see you next week. That's Landon Idlet, of course, with the National Weather Service, joining us from all over the world. And go check out Field of Dreams in Dyersville. That's awesome. All right, we will be back with more HotSpot right after this. Look at that dog.
There's epic, then there's ultra epic. Capture life in vivid resolution with Galaxy's most advanced camera system and the built-in S Pen that puts you in control. Every moment, every angle, from sunrise to sundown and beyond. More striking, more stunning than ever. Find the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra at your nearest iTunes store or online at ite.net and change the way you work and play.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
This year, we're expanding our Decision 2022 platform to include comprehensive coverage of the election in the Northern Marianas. Stay with KUAM News for candidate conversations on Pacific matters, interviews with the gubernatorial teams, coverage of debates and forums, and live coverage on the general election night. We're your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
The KUAM KUAM Care Force, along with partners Guam Animals in Need and the Boonie Fly Project, are asking you to join NBC Universal in their nationwide effort to clear the shelters this August. We're encouraging our community to get involved, donate to these organizations, and adopt and foster pets to help our growing stray animal population on Guam. For the 8th consecutive year, NBC is raising awareness and funds in their local communities to support animal welfare. Since its inception in 2015, Clear the Shelters has helped more than 700,000 pets find new homes. Join us all August long for live reports on KUAM News HotSpot and Primetime, special news series, My Pet's Story, a weekly series on KUAM Digital showcasing heartwarming stories of pets who found loving homes, weekly posts on KUAM social media platforms featuring pets in need of homes. Let's do our part to clear the shelters and support animals in need.
Lunches, snacks, we got diapers for baby girl. Oh, 7:15, we gotta go. Bread, milk, gas for work. Remember to grab Joe Boy a birthday present. Half a day?
Hey, Molly, how much do you pay for daycare for the kids?
Over $600 a month. It's expensive.
Did you hear about the governor's program that covers up to $675 a month for childcare?
Wow, that would be a lifesaver with the rising costs of everything.
Check guamchildcare.com to apply. We qualified. I even booked an appointment for someone to walk me through the process.
Guamchildcare.com. Okay, thanks. I'll apply today.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Welcome back to the Hotspot, everybody. And look who just happened to jump in the KUAM News Zoom room, none other than our Honorable Chief Judge of the District Court of Guam, Francis Tydinko Gatewood. Your Honor, it is an honor to always see you, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me to come in.
All right, and the event we are talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, you might recall, I did a segment last year where Her Honor and her staff down there at the federal court organized, along with our friends at Department of Agriculture, this wonderful program where young people were actually challenged to raise, they were plum tomatoes, right, Your Honor?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and so as I understand, Your Honor, this program has been extended and also targeting a very specific members of our beloved public sector who normally they kick down doors, they rescue people, they help people when they're in their time of greatest need. And if you know anything about firefighters, one of the talents is you have to cook, but now you're actually challenging them to also raise vegetables.
That's right. You know, during the pandemic period, which is actually still ongoing, but clearly when it was really ongoing, fuller force, as you indicated, we sponsored a planning project open to all public schools and private schools, and it was very overwhelming. I mean, in terms of participation, we had over 500 entries in the past 2 years, and it was plum tomato. And then the second year was what, Stacy? Was it eggplant, or what was the second one?
Yes, Your Honor, it was tomatoes and eggplants.
Right.
That shout out to Stacy Flores, who's in the background right there, the disembodied voice. But Stacy, always good to see you, even if we can't see you. Your voice is well attended.
Thank you, you as well.
Yeah, she's our community outreach director, and so
she makes everything happen.
Yeah, she makes everything happen in the district court, and for the Guam bar as well. So we decided that we wanted to expand the program, and so while we were coordinating the school project, one of our interns, her name is Sadara Aguilar, she told our committee that her father was a firefighter with the Guam Fire Department in the Lahan fire station, and he had asked her for a set of extra plants as she was helping us prepare. So he was asking for a set of plants, even though he wasn't a young student like all the other students that were involved, and he wanted to start a garden at his fire station so that they can harvest the tomatoes for their meals. And so so we thought, well, or the team thought, well, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea if we ask our everyday heroes, like you said, the men and women who go and rescue us from fires and other things that they do, to work with them with this kind of a project. So we decided together, and Stacy actually, she's really good because she's really good at getting our partners, and one of our partners for the District Court of Guam is the Guam Department of Agriculture. And of course, they provided all the seedlings, provided the experts throughout the contest to give us advice on how to plant, like tomatoes in particular. I remember I tried to do it. I was competing with Sabrina, and mine just failed in the first 2 days because I don't know what happened.
I don't know. You raised some pretty impressive plum tomatoes, Your Honor. I remember that.
No, mine wasn't too good because I transferred it from the little pot or plastic pot that they had into a big one. I think I overwatered it, and so I just screwed up. But so we have the Department of Agriculture, the Guam Bar Association, which also provides the cash prizes. And so because of our partnership with the fire department, we asked them to get involved in this. And so Stacy, maybe you might want to talk about how the fire department, they're having a contest. Is that right, Stace?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
Sure. So the concept of the contest is that every employee at the Guam Fire Department was invited to participate. We currently have 14 fire stations on Guam, to include fire rescue, and each station has 2 platoons, Platoon A and Platoon B. So in total, there's 28 stations. And then we have the Fire Prevention Bureau with GFD. They have 2 platoons. And then the GFD headquarters will participate, as well as the E911 Center.
And if I may, Stacy, I do know, because we've been covering their progress, there is a new cycle of firefighter recruits that are just getting ready to complete their training.
That is correct.
So this might be like their first real big challenge to raise crops for their whichever firehouse that they get assigned to.
That's correct. We're so excited for their participation.
Okay, and then either Stacy or Your Honor, maybe you want to jump in. We're not just doing plum tomatoes this year, right? This is different types of plants, but Chinese cabbage, as I understand, among other things.
Right. So Stacy, I think, spoke to the Department of Agriculture, and Chelsea, is it Chelsea Brett Munia?
Chelsea Munia Brett.
Yeah, Chelsea
sweetheart.
Brett Munia Brett. Okay, I got it mixed up. Okay, so Chinese cabbage, green eggplants, of course, sweet red potato, sweet red pepper, and hot pepper donny seedlings to plant and to nourish them for the next 3 months.
That's a salad right there.
Yeah, that better be a good salad. Yeah, so that's what they're going to do. The station and the platoon that harvest the best and the most throughout the contest will win some cash prizes.
Okay, so there is a distinction to be made, Your Honor, between, you said, like the best and the most, right? So like, is it the, and they got 90 days to pull this off. So the largest yield in terms of like plants that make it all the way to maturity, as well as maybe best looking, or?
Hey, let me clarify that,
Okay.
Stacey. Is it just the most, Stacey, or not the best and the most?
That is correct. It is just one criteria, which is the most harvest.
So the biggest yield, if you can come out with all types of green and red and wonderful colors that we grow on the island and everything, your firehouse will take the top prize. And there are prizes. And if I know anything about Guam's firemen, they are going to take that money and reinvest it into the community, just because they're awesome like that.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited. It's going to be the winner of the most harvest will be awarded their prize and knowledge at the end of October 2022, which of course Stacy made sure that it was going to coincide with the celebration of Fire Prevention Month, which is, really great.
Stacy, you are a marketing genius, if I may say so myself. That is incredible.
Thank you. You're too kind, Jason.
Even if you are a little shy, but that's no problem. I wish we could see you on camera, but that's totally cool. Okay, so
you see her picture. You see her very nice picture.
She has a very lovely icon. So, and we're not just saying, okay, well, you know, the contest starts and then in 90 days we'll go check you guys out and then we'll do the judging and everything. There is a little bit of we check in with the different firehouses and track their progress, correct?
Yes, I think so. And I think, you know, through the next 3 months, the fire stations are going to, you know, obviously be working and competing to make sure that their particular seedlings are growing, flourishing, and so they're going to be wanting to make sure that they maintain their competitive spirit, but also at the same time they get the correct results, which is hopefully the most bountiful.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to go and show my own home village bias, and I am rooting for Team Jigo. So Jigo Firehouse, you guys got this.
Yeah, I think they're gonna really test how good is the soil at each of their stations, number one, and then number two, how well they are going to be smart enough, or not smart enough, I should say, but how well they're going to be religious enough to maintain the watering and whatever else other care that they need to do for their particular plants, and that's going to be very, I think, very indicative of how dedicated each station will be.
Respectfully, Your Honor, dedication, I have absolutely, like, you know, no reservations in knowing that the members of the Guam Fire Department are going to see this through, you know, to completion, because they always finish a mission. And tell you what, if you can run into a burning building and rescue a kid who's just crying out for help, raising a plant is a challenge in its own right, but, you know, no problem at all. They got this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. That's so true. And another thing is, one of the things that Stacy was trying to ascertain is if any of the fire stations had an environment around their station that wasn't conducive to really planting these particular vegetables, she made sure she collaborated with a very, very dear mayor from Agana Heights, who happens to be her father. Shout
out to Mayor McDonald.
That's right. And he recently gave authority he was recently given authority to manage Fort Apuga and Fort Soledad, that particular monument area in Agana Heights. And so he turned over half of the unused grounds into a community garden. So the Agana Heights Community Garden has been recently created in the last few months, and that particular garden will allow, I think, other participants from the Guam Fire Department who don't have a host station where they could plant to use that particular, you know, that garden for sure. So that's kind of a nice thing, that this collaboration's exciting, because we don't want any of the fire stations to miss out because of the soil deficiencies. If you
okay, will. Now, you know, the only thing we can't speed up, Your Honor, is time. And as a storyteller and as a journalist here on Guam, I really, really want to see what all of our firehouses turn out. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be a challenge for me to wait 90 days to see how, you know, these island heroes, in the truest sense of the word, you know, they actually, you know, take the big hearts that we know they all have, and also maybe show off how they have some green thumbs.
Well, I think it might be kind of nice too if they, you know, they did it and then maybe involve their own children or kids from the neighborhood. If they're doing it outside their fire station, it'd be kind of nice to involve their own community.
Great idea. So, hey, firefighters, that's coming from the judge. So, you know, like, that's authorized. You guys can do that.
That's authorized. Is that what, Stacey? Is that authorized? Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, we encourage the help of the community and family members, and that is outlined in the flyer that will be presented to all of them.
Who's going to say no to the chief judge? I mean, if it wasn't authorized, I guess it just is. But no, it's totally cool.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's kind of nice because I have Stacy and her team of interns. A lot of them are volunteer interns, students from college, UOG, GCC, even high school students who always want to get involved. And then, of course, some of our other staff members at the Federal District Court.
Okay, and Stacey, may I just ask real quick, because I know Her Honor was saying something about they have to actually plant the seedlings at the fire station, so we can't do like they can't do like pots with imported soil. They have to use their own soil on the premises.
You know, Jason, I want to clarify that there are no specific rules like that. It's a method of trust. So we're allowing each platoon or team, if you will, to also plant them in buckets. And on Monday, well, later today, we will meet with our team of experts from Department of Agriculture, who will give some great tips and advice to the battalion chiefs so that they can spread all of that information. And so to answer your question in short, no, there is no criteria or rule that it must be planted at their station.
Very
so as
cool.
you heard Judge speak earlier, the Agani Heights mayor is offering his empty garden lots, and other participants can use buckets as well.
They got good soil over there in Agani Heights. You know, I mean, I spent my youth because my grandparents' place is in Agani Heights. So I mean, it's not just about the coconuts, everybody. And again,
Right.
talking about Jigo, you know, I mean, we got really good red dirt up in Jigo, and we have the citrus festival. So we grow great citrus fruits. I want to see how this turns out for Chinese cabbage and for Doni. I want to say maybe Mingilau's got a slight edge just because they have the Doni Fest. But I mean, you know, again, I got to wait 90 days to see how this turns out. I can't wait.
Exactly. It's exciting.
All right. So maybe, Your Honor, if you would, maybe just some final thoughts about what this means for the community at a larger level, because this is an educational opportunity, to be sure.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's definitely, you know, the education mission here is that, you know, we obviously we have our heroes, whether firefighters, police officers, prosecutors, even defense attorneys, you know, judges, you know, FBI, DEA, and all those heroes. You know, as we honor these particular heroes, the firefighters, it's our mission to continue to educate the community on how they can be contributing citizens, just as we hope to be. Not just, you know, we do our job, we are all public servants, but also outside of that, how can we contribute to our community and provide sustainable food? I mean, you know, Guam is just very rich in just in the environment in terms of soil, water, air. I mean, it is pure pretty much. And so it's nice that we want to safeguard our environment as we are going through this pandemic crisis, or even beyond that, but also just to make sure that we have food security. I mean, so that we don't have to rely on importation of vegetables, that we can rely on our own vegetables. I mean, I remember growing up and, you know, star apple, coconut, you know, guava. I mean, all those different things that we have. I miss that because I don't see that as much on our tables. But I mean, you know what? I think when you're from Guam and you have the bananas from Guam, there's no other banana in the world. I'm sorry. You go to the mainland and you miss your sweet little bananas from Guam. It's just it's a different experience, a different flavor, texture. And so, I mean,
I say the same thing about Guam cucumbers. I love local cucumbers. They're so good.
Exactly. And it's not just the cucumbers, it's just even the way we prepare it.
And you know, if you remember, Your Honor, thank you for bringing up star apples, because that's what I made a humble suggestion at the completion of last year's event when the plum tomatoes were harvested. I was like, how about we try star apples? But then actually the Department of Ag was saying, you know, those take maybe like 3 to 4 years. So maybe somewhere down the road, or maybe we start now and that's 2025's competition. But as for the current moment, firefighters are challenged and they rise to the challenge, of course.
Yeah, it's so true. And you know, you talk about star, that's exactly what they said about star, but it's the same with coconuts. You know, I mean, not coconuts, mangoes.
Yep.
Mangoes. I mean, my husband Robert planted a mango tree in our backyard, and it didn't harvest. Like, it's 12 years. So finally, I talked to Stacy and some other people, and then Stacy, was it your dad that your husband? Somebody gave us something to you know, jumpstart the production of our mangoes. Is that right, Steve?
That was my father, Your Honor, yes.
That sounds exactly like something the mayor would do.
Yeah. So I would hear different things like, oh, just take a rusty nail and, you know, nail the base of the tree, or use a spray and so forth. So Mayor McDonald was able to do that for us in terms of getting the jump start of the birthing of our mango tree after 12
Perfect.
years.
All right, Your Honor. Well, I got to let you go, but thank you for giving us some of your time. I know with your responsibilities here for our community, there's not a lot of it, but this is an amazing program, and again, I cannot wait to start, and we can't wait to actually chronicle the journey that these firefighters take, and hopefully going for that big harvest. And good luck to all the firehouses throughout the island.
Thank you. Can I make a quick shout out to Guam Fire Department and Fire Chief Dan Stone and Firefighter Nick Garrido for pulling all of this together and allowing us to do this. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Take care.
All right,
We'll talk to you
and
soon.
Your Honor, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll see you then.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
There's epic, then there's ultra epic. Capture life in vivid resolution with Galaxy's most advanced camera system and the built-in S Pen that puts you in control. Every moment, every angle, from sunrise to sundown and beyond. More striking, more stunning than ever. Find the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra at your nearest iTunes store or online at ite.net and change the way you work and play.
This year, we're expanding our Decision 2022 platform to include comprehensive coverage of the election in the Northern Marianas. Stay with KUAM News for candidate conversations on Pacific matters, interviews with the gubernatorial teams, coverage of debates and forums, and live coverage on the general election night. We're your news leader, the voice of the Marianas.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
And for our ongoing election series, Canvassing with KUAM, Hannah Devanzo went to Sinania to talk about some local military veterans, some of our island's most beloved members of our community, to find out what issues affect them and what they want to see from prospective elected leaders.
Guam is home to the largest number of military veterans among all U.S. states and territories, with over 10,000 of them residing here. Meet Francisco Dueñas. He's a Vietnam veteran who joined the U.S. Army back in 1967 when he was just 16 years old for reasons he now laughs about.
That's really funny because I was a good guy. I had a little run with running around with the law when at the age of 16, and there's only one way for me to avoid going to jail is join the military. So I did under the recruiter's name is Eddie Dueñas, the former senator. So yes, July 21st, Liberation Day in 1967, I was out of here to Florida, California to take up basic training.
Dueñas was deployed to Vietnam in December of 1967 and spent about 14 months there. While it was long ago, the memories are still crippling.
I get emotional, so to speak. All I'm saying is it's a hardcore type of job where it traumatizes you in so many ways.
Through his experiences, he's been able to meet other veterans such as Albert Eliason, who served in the United States Marine Corps. While he's not originally from Guam, it's been his home since he was just 9 years old. He took us back to the moment he decided to enlist.
When time came, and rather than wait to get drafted, I went ahead and enlisted in the United States Marine Corps to avoid the draft. It sounds kind of funny. I could have been drafted for 2 years of service in the Army, and instead I enlisted for 4 years in the Marine Corps. But I got what I wanted. I've never regretted it. And as the language is among Marines, once a Marine, always a Marine. I've never forgotten my training. I've never forgotten who I am and what I am. I am a United States Marine until I die.
And after serving 20 years as a Marine, Frank Salas now dedicates his time to helping his fellow veterans. He's the founder of Project Guiding Light, which is currently helping over 185 veterans with their VA claims. To add on to that, he also founded the group Once a Marine, Always a Marine. In our time together, I learned just how close-knit and united the veteran community is on island, meaning their vote is very powerful. Salas shared what qualities he's looking for in Guam's next elected officials.
First of all, it is hard to get is honesty, okay? Everybody promises everything, right? And they always, the big thing that is my pet peeve is these candidates run to be servants of the people, but as soon as they get in there, then they think that we're their servants, right? They're supposed to be, they're earning my paycheck, my hard-earned dollars. Without that, they will have no jobs. And they got to remember that. That's why we place them in there in hopes that they will do something for us. But it looks like it falls on deaf ears,
And he's not the only one supporting honest candidates.
Integrity, honesty. I really hate empty promises, as Frank has mentioned earlier, that I expect the politicians, whoever gets voted in, to do what they have promised the people of Guam.
I want to make sure he's honest. The best thing is to find out what kind of a history does he have. Is he known for keeping his word? Is he somebody that shares the same values of family, religion, of faith in God and country that I do? And if he shares those things, then I have more tendency to vote for him than anyone else.
And while the veteran population on Guam is enormous, they sometimes feel overlooked.
I've not seen anybody that have veterans on the platform, and that's shameful. That's very shameful and injustice for us veterans here in Guam who went out and served to defend our country and our island and our way of life. Nobody's mentioning veterans. And they're saying it, they're just saying it, and they just quickly change the subject. But veterans is a big issue, and they're making a blind eye to it.
Whoever cares for the veteran needs to work hard and bring the services over here. The clinic up there is too small to handle the 10,000, 20,000 veterans here on island. You got the Vietnam vets, you have the Desert Storm, you have the Iraq, you have the what else? Afghanistan.
It's an issue all too familiar for veterans having problems with the VA clinic. They hope to elect someone who can change that.
Whoever is handling the veterans here in Guam needs to fight for more opportunities for the veterans here. And a very good example is the VA clinic. In some cases, they don't return calls, they don't answer phones, and the veterans gets frustrated, let alone they already have PTSD.
I'm looking at, as a veteran, and I'm looking at health care for a veteran. As we've already all indicated, the CBOC here, the Veterans Outpatient Clinic, community-based outpatient clinic, is basically overloaded. I call to try and get assistance, and I'm either long-term listening to the phone ring. When it answers, I'm given a menu of options. I don't have a live person to talk to, and as a result, we'll call you back.
I'm still fighting for my wife's, what's that, SAM? SAM VA. SAM VA, because she's the only one that's helping me. I submitted my documents for aid and attendance, and I still haven't received any input from the VA. Because we're not getting younger, we're getting older, and all this chronic pains that we receive during in the military is now catching up on us. And I'm going to be 73 years old. I have chronic pains all over my body.
The three are encouraging their fellow veterans to go out there and vote. Island residents can still register at gec.guam.gov and will need a Guam ID or Guam driver's license to do so. August 17th marks the last day to register to vote, and early voting in the primary election will be open until August 19th at the Westin Resort. Hannah Devonzo for KUAM News.
We have something very, very special for you. I have new friends. We make a lot of friends on this show, and I am now joined by students from visiting Guam from Korea and Japan. They are part of Miss Christine's English school over there, right down the street from us at St. Paul's. So, hello, half a day.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, and this is my new friend Jack, and Jack is awesome. We've been chatting it up, practicing international relations during that last segment by Hannah. So, Jack, hello.
Hi, Jason.
Okay, and may I say to all of your classmates, I know how to say it in Japanese, right? Hajimemashite?
Hajimemashite.
Okay, and am I correct for Korean?
반갑습니다.
반갑습니다.
Yeah, 반갑습니다.
Close enough?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Almost.
Okay, now can I ask you guys? Can you look at that camera and just say half a day?
Half a day.
Perfect. Okay, so I'd like to know how long have you been on Guam right now?
Almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had some fun right now? Because I know you're here for school and to learn and to get a better idea about Guam. But have you had some fun?
Yes.
Okay. How's the food?
It is yummy. Yeah.
Okay. What did you guys eat so far?
Shrimp, locomoco. Do you know locomoco?
Shrimp and locomoco. That's a party right there. Okay. How about have you guys been? Have you gone to the beach?
Yes, of course.
Okay. How did you like the beach?
The weather is very clear, so we are going every day.
Oh, every day?
Yeah, almost every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been kind of hot lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very hot. Okay, so and here we have Joseph. We brought Joseph on because he was going to be the translator and let us. These kids are so sharp. Joseph, I said this is the easiest $8.25 you ever made. So, what has it been like interacting with these young people?
They're learning culture in Guam and like something education of Guam. They're learning something like that in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can I just ask, because you're not only students here learning about Guam, we're also learning about you too. So, so what can we learn about Japan and Korea? What would you like to teach us?
Speaking, reading, spelling, or many kinds of things. But I like writing, so I can teach you writing.
Oh, you can teach me writing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you teach me how to say, "I'm very happy to be here"?
나는 여기 와서 행복합니다. In Korean.
Everybody taking notes? Okay, let's try that one more time. Go like a little bit slow, because
Okay.
Yeah.
나는 여기에 와서 행복합니다. 나는 여기에 와서 행복합니다.
행복합니다.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, it seems like Christine's English class is gonna have one more student, so I have stuff I gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost.
Thank you for being with us here today.
Okay.
We're happy to be your new friends, and we like to say on Guam, we like hospitality.
Yeah.
So you've had really, really good food.
Yeah.
You've been to the beach.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys would want to do when you're here? Did you go to the movies?
No.
To the pool? Okay, yeah, the pool is good.
Yeah. And library.
Oh, and the library.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do really, really well.
And Druggy World.
Okay. What was that? Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna ask you to look right there, because I got one more story to read. But can we say bye bye?
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. Christine's English class over at St. Paul's. Representatives back there off camera, they are absolutely proud right now. I hope your parents and your brothers and sisters are watching this too.
I don't think so, but
the time difference.
I hope they could watch it.
Okay. Do you guys want to say bye bye to your mommies and daddies, maybe your grandparents?
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that is going to do it for our show, everybody. Please make sure to check us out.
My mama.
That's not your mama. Yeah, that's right. That's Peter Anderson. That's not your mama, but
I'm in the TV.
We're on TV. Yes. Okay. Tomorrow, candidate conversations. Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, as you see up there, incumbent Senator Sabina Perez, former Senator Jesse Lujan, and Michelle Hope Taitano will join me tomorrow. All right, my new friends once again, Christine's English class. thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
Okay, how do we say thank you in Japanese and thank you in Korean?
감사합니다 in Korea.
감사합니다.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Japanese?
아리가또 고자이마스.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
감사합니다. Arigato and goodbye. Thank you,
Goodbye.
everybody. Bye-bye. All right.